Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. It's that time of year again whilst wild garlic is easy pickings. So this week we are making wild garlic pesto. Now for this you will of course need some wild garlic. Now I did a video last year about wild garlic salt which breaks down a little bit easier on how to find it, what to look for, as there are similar looking poisonous plants. But like most foraged food, you only want to pick it if you are 100% sure what it is. Now, I chose the painful way to make this pesto by using my pestle and mortar. Now you could save yourself about 30 minutes if you just use a blender or food processor instead. Now I want to start by rinsing and sorting 150 grams of wild garlic leaves. You can also use the flowers if you wish. But you just want to make sure there's no bugs, dead leaves or anything else that might be on the woodland floors that are in the bunches. Now whilst doing this you want to toast 50 grams of pine nuts, or like I did 50 grams of cashew nuts, as chances are they are much cheaper than pine nuts and they have a similar final taste in the pesto. Then you want to pound 1 to 2 garlic cloves in the pestle and mortar. Now I left my pestle and mortar in that warm conservatory, and as this is a nice solid stone pestle and mortar, it got super hot and it was honestly painful to use. I should definitely have let it cool down first. But once your garlic is nice and well crushed and almost paste-like, you want to pour in the toasted nuts of choice and give a good crush. Next you want to add in some chopped up wild garlic. Now you want to either cut it very finely with a pair of scissors or just slice it with a knife. This is just so it's easier to manage and it's already partly broken down. Then you want to give it a good crushing to break it down a bit more, try and get it into a nice uniform size. Now whilst doing this you can slowly incorporate 150 ml of olive oil or any neutral tasting oil. This will help it stick together and help it stop clumping around the side of the pestle and mortar, and makes it a lot easier to crush. Now after around 15 to 20 minutes of slowly adding in the leaves, breaking it down, you should have a fine paste. Now you should have some bigger chunks left over, or you probably will have some bigger chunks left over. This is completely fine, you can either take those out or just leave them in. I like to, leave them in just for a little bit of size difference. Now by this point you should have fully incorporated 150 ml of olive oil, and that should be nice and mixed in. Now here is where you can start adding in 50 grams of parmesan or a similar hard grated cheese. Now once mixed you can add in some lemon zest and some lemon juice of around half of 1 lemon, and then give a nice mix and taste for seasoning. Also add in some salt and pepper if you do so wish. Now there is no good way that I can really find of preserving a jar of homemade pesto. Now you can get jars of pesto in the shop, so I thought you might be able to do it at home, but I guess they're just putting stuff in there that, we don't really have it in there at the moment. And if we were trying to heat can this like you would for a soup or a sauce, you're basically going to be boiling your pesto in olive oil, and it's going to definitely change the final product. Now for what I did for this is I just scooped mine into a jar and just added some extra olive oil to the top, just to form a nice barrier so the air can't get to the pesto. Or you can also freeze the pesto down using portion sizes in a ice cube tray, and then once the cubes are fully frozen just place into a bag and keep in the freezer. And there you have it, a wild garlic pesto. Now this is great on salads, pasta, or even over some gnocchi. And that wraps up this week's video. As always, if you like what you saw, let me know down below with a like and a comment. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe for free weekly cooking content, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.